Hi, and welcome back to this segment, and I have my guest, Pastor Beccai, and he's joining me. We're going to be talking a little bit about culture and the church and just his experience here in Walla Walla. How's been your transition?
Well, I mean, I probably would have to back up a little because I was born in Ghana, lived in England, then I was in Andrews, which is the Midwest, and that was a strange experience because it was the first time I'd ever been in an Adventist institution, and I remember walking down sidewalks and having people call me brother, and I was like, we do not have the same parents.
No.
Why are you calling me brother? Or just talking to me when we'd never met. And that was my first exposure to sort of being an Adventist in America. And then we ended up in Seattle, which is also an interesting place, very crunchy, very granola.
Crunchy?
Yeah. You know, people hike all the time.
Oh, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm from
Everything's-
Boston, so we don't hike there either.
Local, glocal, activists. But Seattle's beautiful. Really grew to love that place, learned how to do some snowboarding. I started to recycle and even had a compost bin.
That's how you know, when you get the compost bin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I came here, they don't recycle or have compost.
No, so it's like you've been reverted back
I went backwards. Yeah.
Walla Walla needs to catch up.
It does. But this is a beautiful place. We're really enjoying being here. My wife, my daughter, it's a slow pace of life. We can walk to work. Everything's 4 minutes away.
Yeah.
Everyone complains if it's the other side of town, which is 15 minutes. It's like your world is falling apart. But it's a good place. We are really enjoying being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so something that I've noticed in basically all of your sermons, or a lot of them, you like to bring up someone a little famous that we like to call Beyonce.
Mercy.
Are you obsessed with Beyonce? Do you know her?
Well,
like where's she coming from?
No and no. I don't know her and I'm not obsessed with her. But Beyonce obviously is iconic.
Yeah.
She is one of the most influential voices right now in culture. When she does something, everyone pays attention. I think that she's a brilliant businesswoman. I think she's an incredible performer. There are some people, though, who I think have taken the cult of Beyonce a little too far.
Sure.
If you've ever had an attack on Twitter from like the
Yeah.
from the Beccai, you know how that goes down. And I was actually really interested in Beyonce because there was a church in San Francisco that started a Beyonce mass. And there's another one on the East Coast that wants to do the same thing. So people basically come and they sing Beyonce songs because it's uplifting for them, which is actually not that strange because there are people, for example, in London, there's something called the School of Life, and they are an atheist/agnostic church. It's humanism. And they come together and they have all the trappings of religion without the content. So they like to come together, sing, be in community. And there are people in San Francisco who find Beyonce inspirational. And so they have a Beyonce mass. I would never do it. I would never go. But it does show that even on the West Coast where people are very secular, people are still haunted by like desires to have significance and to be spiritual. And Beyonce is an outlet for that.
It's like having a Beyonce concert without her being there.
It kind of is, yeah. So they're like singing single ladies, and then they take up the offering. It's interesting.
The offering?
Yeah.
That's
it's like
crazy.
a mess.
I guess, all right.
They need that
gotta
money.
collect, yeah.
They do.
Okay, and so, I mean, the university church is a pretty interesting context because you're dealing with an older generation. You're also dealing with college students who, coming from high school, they're ready to explore or maybe leave behind something that they've been raised with. So what has that been like balancing, both groups?
Yeah, it's interesting because when I came, I would ask people who are stakeholders, constituents here, what's the focus of the university church? And most people would look at me quizzically because the focus is sort of in the name. It's the university church. So it's simple on one level, but when you go down another level, it really isn't. They have some complex relationships. We're trying to figure out if we are here for the university students or whether we want the university students to participate. And then there's also the difficulty of having university students, like you said, who are trying to explore faith. Right. I had a meeting just this afternoon with a student who's trying to figure out what it means to continue to be part of this community. And I love navigating that complexity because you have to grow up. You have to figure out, am I in this for me, or is this something my parents did? And I think this time of life is a wonderful opportunity to ask good questions, to be able to stretch your mind in a safe place and hopefully come out significantly stronger. And the community, I believe, really wants to support students through that journey.
What's your vision for what do you want this campus to look like, let's say in 5 years or just in any future amount of time?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what my vision is. My vision is that this campus will have a really broad gospel-focused vision, which is student-driven. So it's gospel-focused, student-driven. I think if something is gospel-focused, and I don't know what the X is, if this is an equation and mission equals gospel-focused and then student-driven, it means that students are going to come with their ideas, with their creativity. They're going to challenge the church. We're not going to guess what students want, but at the same time, it's not about the students. It's about the gospel and a broader mission. Because I don't think anyone wants to be the target of anyone's marketing. Let's get the students. That you're like, no, we're not interested. Leave us alone. But if it's something which we're all passionate about, and that is going to make a difference in people's lives, then we can say, let's work together. And we're going to give you a seat at the table. We're going to give you a voice. We're going to actually hear what you have to say. And we're going to believe the Spirit of God dwells in you and is going to move us in ways that we might be uncomfortable with, we might never have thought about. But we're going to achieve something bigger than any interest group, whether it's community, students, alum, older people, whatever. Let's make it about the gospel, but let's recognize that the university church, more than any church in this whole territory, has this unique feature of having 1,300 students. And if they can be given permission and empowered, I think it can make a huge difference.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see how this university is going to continue to grow in this field.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So backtracking a little bit, do you think your experience, or really quickly, in the UK shapes the way that you pastor or the way that you...
Yeah. I think it allows me, when I meet people who I don't understand, to have some context to say, I may not understand this person, but I can figure it out. Because I'm used to meeting people who are different. I grew up in a place where, my friends were like Joaquim and, Ruslan and Chiranjeev and Bill. So whether they're Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, whether
got all types
so if I meet new people, I'm able to figure it out and just learn how to be in relationship with them and not be overawed by it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you in the next segment. Hi, and welcome back to our Fill in the Blank segment. And right now we're about to play our game. We're going to pick a prompt, and we're going to see if we know each other. I'm going to go first. See how it's done. Let's see what it says. All right. One thing that I have learned that has stuck with me is blank. One thing that I've learned that has stuck with me is blank.
She's still writing.
I know. I hope it's... Leandre, you done writing your novel? All right, 1, 2, 3. Hair. Warm... I'm sorry, we're going to need to take
Veganism is key.
We're going to need to take a break because warm cereal is not okay. Leandre.
It actually is, though. But you have to warm the milk up for about 25 seconds.
Amen.
You don't want it like a minute.
All right. We need to move on because this is just not a safe conversation and people are going to get hurt. I'm hurt. Pastor, do you want to go next?
Okay. My favorite thing to do when I have free time is that was very short. Huh?
I hope
Okay, are you ready?
it's right. All right, ready? Eat gelato, sleep, and I said play soccer. Okay, I feel like they're all viable.
They are all viable.
They're close.
Yeah.
This one more so than that one, actually. Yeah.
It's like I'm better.
Beat me.
All right, Leandro, your turn.
All right, my turn. While I was giving a sermon about blank, the faces in the audience looked like blank.
He's like, I have some from experience.
While I was giving a sermon about blank, the faces in the audience looked like blank.
Ooh. I don't even know. How do you even...
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay.
All right. The goodness of grapes.
The goodness of grapes.
My date disturbed. Veganism. What?
Rotten tomatoes?
They just look... You know,
Okay.
it was a stretch. We're going to go with it. And thank you for joining us on this segment, and we'll see you in the next one.